Hello TEFL students. In this little talk, I want to discuss what it means to have a student-centered classroom. The definition of student-centered classroom is really big and very wide. I'm going to give you my watered-down version of what it means to me. First, I want to start off with something that perhaps isn't student-centered that causes some confusion for my TEFL training. I've had this many times. They'll bring me this lesson plan and they'll say, look how student-centered it is. It's about my Thailand, and my students are from Thailand. And I've asked them lots of comprehension checks. And I said, that's great. That's a great start that you've considered their population and you're doing lots of back and forth communication. But that, in my mind, is not a definition of a student-centered classroom. In a nutshell, I would think of a student-centered classroom as activities where I do not have to lead, where I could go sit in the back or circulate around the classes and they themselves need only each other or independently to complete the tasks. And my teacher talking time is minimal or maybe zero for much of the class. That, for me, is the definition of a one key feature to a student-centered classroom. I'm going to give you 3 quick points to think about as you try to process the idea of a student-centered classroom. Idea number 1 would be giving your students options and decisions as you plan your classes or within the class itself. You can allow them to choose between activities. Would you guys rather do a reading or would you rather do this listening? You can let them decide how you do the activity. Do you guys want to do it in a game format? Do you want to do it in this format? And I allow them some decisions in how we present that information. Maybe I allow them the content. Would you guys rather do chapter 5 or chapter 6? Or would you rather read about pollution or some other topic, and the students get to feel as though they made a decision. Also, you can do that sometimes for timing. How long do you guys think we're going to meet? Are we going to meet 20 minutes? Are we going to meet 5 minutes, 10 minutes? And they set the time, and I follow through with the cutoff time that they set prior to the activity. So that's just an idea of ways to get that communication back and forth. Idea number 2 would be, this is really important, the idea of student collaboration. When I think of student-centered, I'm thinking that there is a lot of collaboration going on. Collaboration could be between pairs, it could be between groups, but they are working together. Maybe they're working together to solve a problem. Maybe they're working together to build something like a dialogue or a description that they're writing. They're building something together. Maybe I'm using a jigsaws in reading where they need this 4 people to understand this reading. We'll talk about that later. Maybe I'm doing an information gap. That's another type of ESL activity where student A and student B have A and B papers and they need to communicate back and forth. I've got some kind of collaboration going on. It's really important that you have that in ESL classes, and it's a foundation for student-centered learning. And the third final one would be kind of the opposite of 2, is allowing your students some individual processing time. People learn at different paces and they have their own individual strategies for internalizing the information you've given them. So you need to make sure that there is downtime. I call it downtime, where there is some time for them to work individually on their own. It's student-centered in an individual format where they have got something and they're working on their own, and maybe I'm circulating to see if anybody needs assistance, but I'm allowing them to use their own strategies independently to figure out the information. So these are just 3 very broad ideas, giving your students choices, allowing them to make decisions. Number 2 would be encouraging student collaboration. And number 3 would be making sure that you give independent time for them to process information.
Thanks for listening. Bye for now.